Houston XL 92.5 FM.
All right, we welcome in the new drug today. One more preseason game in the books. Frangie, Hayes, Carline, JJ La Selva.
Yeah, I'm going to miss it.
Yeah.
Only one more.
Oh, one more
Always
preseason
sad
affair.
to see the preseason games end.
One more affair, and then we're done.
Geez. And then we have to get to those pesky regular season games.
Thank you to all our Jaguar radio listeners for indulging my nasally voice yesterday, trying to get through the cold. So we'll get through it.
How you feeling?
I feel good. The voice, when you call a game, your biggest fear, I told you guys this Friday, is that your voice gives out. If my voice held up, now I'm nasally and I sound like a guy with a cold, but you don't. I mean, I've been that guy where your voice just dies on you. So, but yeah, I feel fine. But thank you for asking. No, the Big Easy was. I will tell you a funny story. I did something. Let me tell you what I did. Usually we go on the road and we find a steak dinner on the road. But I felt really lousy on Saturday, just really sick. You know how it is. You're popping medicine, and I used 78 gallons of Afrin up my nose, and I had every quill, buddy. I had DayQuil, NyQuil, medium quill, middle of the day quill, or early morning quill. I had all the quills.
Black quill,
all of it. So normally, and last time we went to the Chop House New Orleans, which is a fantastic steak restaurant. But I told my friends I didn't want to do that this time. I just wasn't feeling it. I wanted to get off the plane, rest a little bit. So we got to the room, and I said, "But I'm hungry. I hadn't eaten all day." So we flew back with the team, flew out commercial, flew back with the team. There's a lot of people traveling. Long story short, we're right there in near Canal and Bourbon. I went to just the minute I got off the plane, when everybody else was going to dinner, various different people going to dinner, different places. Walked right to Canal. Had on a pair of shorts and a hoodie. Walked into the Redfish restaurant, which is right on Bourbon. All the Jags linemen were all there. Offensive and defensive linemen were kind of eating there because it's a good place. Saddled up to the bar. And so I said, I feel crappy, but I'm hungry. I need comfort food. Now you eat with me enough. I usually eat right. Mm-hmm. I don't eat a lot of fries.
Yeah.
I don't eat a lot of fried foods. I don't eat a lot. I probably eat too much red meat, but other than that, I'm careful with. I'm a pretty good eater. I saw fried. Let me say this again, fried, so I can say it for effect. Fried seafood platter. I brought it in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, brother, I'm telling you, fried fish, fried oysters, fried shrimp, red beans and rice, and I'm surprised they didn't fry that. Big fat Diet Coke. I couldn't drink. I didn't want to drink.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? I can't remember. I told my wife, I can't remember the last time I ate a bunch of fried seafood. My wife even said, I don't remember. Her dad, God rest his soul, used to love it. She goes, I don't ever remember you. Well, not ever, but I said, I can't remember the last time you've had, because is there anything better than fried shrimp?
It's one of the best meals you can have.
It's spectacular.
Yeah,
so fried fish, fried shrimp, and I ate it like I was going to the chair, bro. It was ugly. It was an ugly feed.
Yeah.
It was an ugly feed.
That cold didn't know what hit it.
That cold had no idea. Okay, the cold got outmatched is what happened.
It had LT coming around the corner.
That's exactly what it had. So I ate this big fried seafood platter by myself. I was back in my room at 6:30 Central. Fell asleep at about 7.
Wow. So not too full to sleep. That's good.
No,
you got to watch that with the big seafood platter.
Not that night I didn't.
Yeah.
So slept from about 7 to 11. Then I'm up for a couple hours. Then I slept the rest of the night. So I feel better. But I had not had a fried seafood. I forgot how good it was.
I may go get one tonight.
You have to do it. Yeah. I'd forgotten how good fried seafood.
So good.
JJ, love fried seafood? Do you like it at all or no?
No.
Wow. You eat right though, right? You
not really.
Yeah.
But I much prefer seafood not fried.
Yeah, well, of course, because it's better not fried. But I mean, I needed batter. I needed.
Well, yeah, you know, there is those late nights.
I felt sick, and I needed a night full of batter. Give a guy some batter. I mean, good fried up batter.
A little Old Bay.
Oh my goodness, it was a good night. So anyway, I had that. But anyway, yeah, a lot of things to talk about today on the program. Not the least of which is the Jaguars. A, played well in a football game. B, made a trade. I'm going to start with a trade. And we're going to talk about all of it coming up in just a bit. But the Colin Saunders trade, and by the way, it is pronounced Colin. I didn't realize that. It's Khalen. We didn't know him. It looks like it's Kalen, but it's pronounced Colin as it was Colin. Colin Saunders. You hit in your tweet, and we talked about it, you and I did on Duval Rundown. Your tweet, I thought, was the thesis statement. They traded a player they probably were going to cut for a player who can immediately fill in an area of need. That's what happened here. And I think there's a lot of storylines that'll attach to that, and I'll go through some of those in a minute. But that's I hope Colin Saunders is a good player. I got a hunch he might be. But regardless of what you get, given the significance of the fact that you probably weren't keeping Luke Fortner, Monheim had passed him. It was a really good move on all fronts, I would think.
I think so. I mean, as long as Colin Saunders isn't the only way it's going to be, it can't be worse. The only way it will be a draw is if Colin Saunders is a total zero.
Well, it's cut.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what you just traded.
Yeah.
You just traded somebody who was going to have zero impact on the team.
That's correct.
And so, and look, that's not a knock on the Saints. The Saints have had an injury at center. So they're looking for an experienced player. I mean, it
was the third-round draft pick.
And it's the same thing with the Jaguars. Like, these aren't good situations.
Yeah.
You've got to just try and make the best of a bad situation, and that's good GMing when you're able to do that. And James Gladstone able to trade an asset that he was not going to use for a player that, look, he started 27 games over the last 2 years combined in New Orleans. He was 6-0 in playoff games with the Chiefs. So if they do get into the tournament, they have a locker room leader that has experienced what that run is like. And he's played. I mean, it's not like he has started but doesn't play a lot of snaps. Colin Saunders has played 1,405 defensive snaps over the last 3 years combined. That's 2 years in New Orleans and his final year in Kansas City. So I'm assuming, more of a run stuffer defensive tackle, 1,400 snaps over 3 years. That's a lot of workload. And so I absolutely think he can help them. It certainly sends a message to the group that's there now, step up. This is somebody who is going to make the team. So, you've got to really bring it now this week. And if you're going to make the team but thought you're going to have a big role, well, now that's threatened. So, again, Colin Saunders, we'll see what kind of impact he has. But in my mind, it's a good trade because if he makes any impact, it's more than what Luke Fortner would have made.
And that's exactly right. So we'll talk about that today. A lot on the program today. We'll go back and look at the preseason game against the Saints, the good, the bad, what stood out. I thought it was a very good performance by the Jags. We'll certainly talk about that coming up in a bit. We'll talk about the Colin Saunders trade, how it came about, all the details of that. We'll look ahead, what to expect this week. Back on the field with a light workout this week. And then, of course, light workout on Wednesday, and then they get on the road. They'll practice 2 days before that, of course, then a joint practice with the Dolphins. Other things to talk about. I heard Scottie Scheffler was good again. I don't know if that's true or not.
He's unbelievable.
We've got some real thoughts on Scottie Scheffler. That comes up on the program today. The Big Ten has recommended yet another playoff scenario. We'll certainly talk about that coming up. We've got a lot of things to get to on the program. So we're glad you're with us. It is a Best Bet Monday, man. That Summer Swing Series continues at the Best Bet St. Augustine. $150,000 guarantee, 6-flight, $300 no-limit hold'em tournament, and it kicks off this Thursday at noon. So we thank the Best Bet. 3 great locations, St. Augustine, Jacksonville, and Orange Park. The Best Bet Monday kicks off right after this. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
He's not a senior citizen. He's Jacksonville's senior writer, John Osher. And knows your favorite football team. Wednesdays from 10 to noon on Jaguars Today. Served up by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Oh, interest rates. They're high everywhere, aren't they? Not at Beard's Diamonds. Right now, they've lowered finance rates all the way down to 0. Hey, Hicken here. That's right. Now Beard's Diamonds pays 0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. So that $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. Man, this amazing offer makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, $100 a month? How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings? $50 a month. It's insane. Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let the non-commission experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. I'm talking Beards Diamonds. I'm talking in the St. John's Town Center. This amazing offer ends August 31st. Shop local. Shop Beards.
This is Hayes Carlion for Harrell and Harrell. I was at lunch with my good friend Holt, and he was telling me that sometimes a lawyer can get more from a case than their own client. I was surprised to hear this, but Holt said that doesn't happen with Harrell and Harrell. They'll never take a fee that is greater than their own client. When they say they treat their clients as a person and not a file, they mean it. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harrell and Harrell at 904-251-1111. That's 904-251-1111.
Every NFL season starts with the fundamentals.
Gentlemen, this is a football.
Nobody covers camp like 1010XL.
And each year, there's a new challenge.
Powered by Roland Leash Plumbing and Green Acres Sporting Goods.
Big Chief Tire makes auto care more affordable with 6-month financing through the CFNA credit card. Frank Frangie here. Plus, get $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. Whether you need new tires, brake service, or general repairs, their expert technicians have you covered. With no interest for 6 months, now's the perfect time to take care of your vehicle. Visit WeKeepJacksRolling.com or call 904-932-0950 to apply today. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rolling.
Here's Linda Beaver.
Hey, school's in session, and here's today's lesson. We have hundreds of certified vehicles to choose from, starting as low as $89.99. Plus, they come with a 7-year, 100,000-mile peace of mind warranty and free oil changes. That means you and your soon-to-be drivers will be protected. Plus, every purchase allows us to fund teachers' projects for the entire school year. Your next assignment, get to Beaver Toyota in St. Augustine, Beaver Chevrolet in Jacksonville, or Beaver Mitsubishi in St. Augustine. We're here to wow you and our teachers.
Cigar smokers, mark your calendars. On August 22nd, 3 to 7, join us at Cigars International Superstore at the Town Center for an epic Oliva event. Meet Ralphie Solar from Oliva. Grab exclusive deals on Oliva boxes and sip drinks at our full bar. Relax in our indoor and outdoor lounges with TVs. Don't miss this smoking good time. This Friday, August 22nd, 3 to 7 p.m., Cigars International Superstore, Jacksonville at the Town Center.
Rotator cuff injuries are common among athletes and those who have physically demanding careers. Don't let this injury keep you away from the sport you love. Dr. George Barry here, and the first thing you need to do with a serious shoulder injury is to diagnose where the damage is and how significant it is. Rotator cuff tears are either acute tears sustained during an injury or accident, or degenerative tears. If you're interested in learning more about rotator cuff repair and how our expert team of orthopedic surgeons can help you, call Barry Orthopedics today or visit barryorthopedics.com.
Your doctor says your testosterone is normal. Normal for who? Beta males? That's where those lab ranges come from. Male Excel uses optimal levels, where you were at 25, not where outdated mainstream medicine thinks you should be. Our protocol is different. Daily dosing, multiple hormones, personalized to your body, not some insurance company's spreadsheet. This is precision medicine, not sick care. Try MaleExcel.com, free test. Stop being normal. Start being optimal.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Long snap down here for Trevor Lawrence. Trevor drops. Looking. Fires. That ball's going to be caught underneath. That's Parker Washington. Dives for the goal line. Touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lawrence to Parker Washington, and Jacksonville strikes first.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
You going to win a game and give me the Doobie Brothers on a Monday, Carline?
It's pretty good.
LaSelva's got it going right now is what he's got. Event 3 of the Summer Swing Series takes place at the Best Bet Jacksonville, by the way, next week. Play in all 3 swing events and receive a Tournament Series pullover. Great times going on at the Best Bet. Always a Best Bet Monday around here. All right, here's what stood out. I'll get to the trade a bit. Trevor Lawrence has played in 2 series now, or 3 series now. 2 games, 3 series. He's 14 of 17. He's thrown a touchdown. 2 of the series he played in resulted in points. 1 a field goal, this a touchdown. The other one he wound up, they fumbled the exchange around the 10-yard line. I think he's been really sharp. I want to be careful. I chuckled a little bit after last week when there were so many people jumping off buildings because they didn't look good against the Steelers. You made the best point. You said, listen, if it's one game, big deal. Well, That's not how the public felt. The public kind of felt like, oh my God, it's terrible. So I don't want to chuckle at that and then act like they're going to win the Super Bowl because they played well against not a very good Saints team who wasn't playing all their starters. But you can only, as we said last week, you can only assess what you see. I think Trevor Lawrence is in a rhythm. I think he is, the mistakes he's made, some of the mistakes he's made in past years he hasn't made. He's 14 of 17. Of the 3 incompletions, Brian Thomas dropped the first pass the other day. He went low to catch it, but he tried to cradle it. That was a drop. Last week, he made a bad throw to Brian Thomas. Also yesterday, this week, he threw a ball out of the back of the end zone because there was nothing there. I loved that. I thought the fact that he got rid of it. So the 14 of 17 was really 16 of 17 pretty good moments. He made one bad throw last week. I think Trevor's been really good. I'll also tell you, in my opinion, the weapons around him, Hayes, Parker Washington's a player, and he's not going to start. Digest that for a second. The Jacksonville Jaguars have a very good wide receiver who I don't think will start the game when the Carolina Panthers come to town. When have we ever said that?
No.
In the 31 years there's been a franchise, have they had a good wide receiver who was not in the starting rotation?
They've never had a good player that wasn't in the starting rotation.
They hardly have.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, this is a very good receiver who's not going to start the game. I'll also say Brenton Strange is a pretty good player, and I think the 3 best weapons are neither one of those 2 guys. I think it's Brian Thomas Jr., it's Travis Hunter, and it's De'Ami Brown, 2 of whom didn't play in the game. So I really do like the weapons they've got. I really do. The offensive line, I want to see it come together. I'm still not sure. They didn't have Anton Harrison in this game. Fred Johnson played pretty well. Played a lot of football, by the way. Played right tackle with the starters, then went and played left tackle with the backups. Played a lot of the game.
Yeah, he had 48 snaps.
Yeah, he played a lot. But I find myself thinking the offensive line has still got to find itself. I love the running backs room. I think I really love the weapons on offense. I'm not there yet on the defense. I'll get there, maybe. I hope. I've been saying for 3 weeks now to you, Hayes, on this program, I think they could be a top 10, 12 offense, and I hope the defense can keep up with where I think the offense is going to be. But I like what I see from the offense. One other thought about the offense, and this is going to sound crazy. I wasn't at the time, but in retrospect, I'm glad Ezra Cleveland stepped on Trevor's foot. I'm glad Trevor tried to hand it off anyway, and I'm glad he fumbled. Sounds crazy, right? But the biggest mistakes Trevor Lawrence has made in his career, in his 4-year NFL career that we've watched so closely, I've called every game, and now beginning his 5th year, it's not lack of effort, lack of work ethic, lack of being a good teammate, lack of talent, lack of intelligence. It's none of that. He's all that. There's a reason he was all that before he ever got in the draft. He's had so much success with his athleticism, so much success with the fact that with whatever he tried to do, that he could get away with making plays that might not have been there because of something that happened. We all remember the interception in the end zone in London against Denver. That throw wasn't there. He tried to stick it in. There's been a lot of those. There's been plays when he tried to run where it wasn't there. Well, yesterday was a microcosm of that. When you're stepped on, put the ball away and and it's a first down play. You get stepped on, cover it up, get touched down, it's 2nd and 13. You're okay. Instead, he tried to make a bit of a hero play because he's always, not because that wasn't an arrogance, it's because he's always gotten away with that. Have it happen. I'm glad he fumbled. I'm glad the Saints recovered, because that's a really good teaching moment. That sounds like such a cliche, a coaching cliche, and I try to stay away from those. I apologize for the coaching cliche, but it really was a teaching moment. Yeah, I mean, cliches are cliches for a reason. It really was that. Okay, Trevor, if you get stepped on, put the ball away, unless it's 4th down, right? I mean, I'm not common sense here, but assuming it's not 4th down, if you get stepped on, put the ball away and live to play another down. So I'm okay with how that happened. I don't think he makes that mistake again. I thought Trevor was in a pretty good rhythm.
I think he's been outstanding. And, again, I give the offensive line a ton of credit. I really thought that collectively they showed something on Sunday, which is interesting because they were down 2 players that very well are going to be starters, and Anton Harrison and Chuma Edoga. And so for them to play at such a high level, I mean, Trevor had time. The running backs had room. And again, the Saints sat 26 players in this game, and they're not very good to begin with. but still, it was good just to see the execution of the offensive line. They were clean operationally when the starters were in. They were 6 of 7 on third down in that first half. You don't do that without your offensive line dominating the game. And so that was really good to see. Now, again, I don't think that'll be the combination, the 5 that we're going to see for week 1. But it was good to see that they got some momentum to carry into this final week of the preseason. So I was really impressed with the offensive line, but Trevor took full advantage. He does look very comfortable stepping into throws well, driving the ball, as Liam Cohen has said. And, outside of the play that he got stepped on, really made a lot of big-time decisions. And you're right about the weapons. I mean, what Liam Cohen's able to do with these running backs is sensational. I mean, I would keep them all because
I agree.
It's a 17-game season. It is the most physically punishing position in professional sports. And the odds that all 4 of those guys are going to be healthy week 1 through week 18 is about a 2% probability.
I could not agree. I don't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I could not agree with that more. You said it on the Duval Rundown today. And people go watch our Duval Rundown. We do it at 9:04 every Monday. Hayes and I, and then Hayes and Rick do it on Fridays because it's fun doing it. It's nothing but Jaguar talk, and Hayes does a great job hosting it. But I want to interrupt you. I really hope all 4 guys are on the roster, and I think they will be. Running backs get hurt. Running backs get hurt more than anybody else because nobody gets run into like a running back. You think about that. Wide receivers, sometimes they get hit, sometimes they don't. They step out of bounds, they slide with the catch. Quarterbacks sometimes get hit, sometimes it's a clean pocket. But running backs, they get hit every play. Running backs don't step out of bounds, right? So that's why running backs are old at 30. That is a great point. Continue, but I hope they keep all 4 guys.
And you see how Liam Cohen utilizes all of them. You know, Tank Bigsby has the 19-yard catch on a screen pass. Fantastic play from Tank Bigsby, something that we've been wanting to see, the elevation of his game as an all-around back. We know about the punishing running style, but it's good to see Tank Bigsby do something. And again, it was a play. It probably should have gone for 4 yards. Tank Bigsby is the reason it went for 19 yards. Etienne was, I thought, dynamic on the ground, 3 carries, 24 yards. Again, he got good help from the line.
He had a big hole.
But he made the most of it, converted a 3rd and 3. Bashal Tootin is obviously a really good find for the Jaguars and somebody that you have to be very excited about. And then LaQuint Allen has been unbelievable in terms of what he can do as a receiving option out of the backfield. Those 4 players, just in the first half, had 12 carries for 65 yards combined and 6 catches for 45 yards combined. I mean, that is 110 yards of offense from your running backs in one half of football. And it just speaks to how this scheme really is able to showcase the running backs. And again, you know, it's an talked about aspect of Trevor Lawrence's development. We get hung up on, well, he had Urban Meyer and then probably had an outdated, stagnant scheme under Doug Peterson and things. And all that's true. And the weapons he's had at receiver, they've never been able to run the ball while he's been here. And now you're getting a sense that Liam Cohen has 4 guys that all bring something different to the table, but are all very good in what they do. And that is going to take a lot of pressure off of Trevor Lawrence as well. So, yeah, I thought the running game and how those running backs are utilized in the passing game really is exciting. It just puts such a strain on the defense. And, again, this isn't something that, I mean, we're excited about a preseason game yesterday, but Liam Cohen did this for 17 games and into the playoffs last year in Tampa as offensive coordinator.
Yeah, I think offensively they're in a really good place. So we'll see. I will tell you, I didn't realize, and my friend Jeff Lagerman talked about it all the time. He's loved Brenton Strange since he got here. I didn't realize how good Strange and Parker Washington would be. Okay, I didn't see that coming. I thought they were decent players. If they're both as good as it looks like they are, so you've got a really good pass-catching tight end, a really good 4th receiver, punt return guy, my goodness, that's a lot of weapons. But Parker Washington, he's a good player now. I mean, he's legit. And again, we didn't see Travis Hunter or De'Ami Brown yesterday. Brian Thomas Jr. Brian has not had a great camp. He dropped some balls in practice. He dropped the ball the other day. But when the light comes on, Brian, I'm not worried about 7. I can tell you that of all the things I'm worried about in the world, number 7 playing well is not a fear of mine. So, yeah, I like where they are offensively. I've got a good feel. I'm going to get to some other things about the defense coming up in just a bit. But I like where they are offensively, and I'm going to get to the trade. So more defensive talk coming up in a bit. But I love where I feel like they are offensively. If there's anything left to be decided, it is what happens along the offensive front. I still say if they played tomorrow against the Carolina Panthers, it would be Walker Little, Ezra Cleveland, Robert Hainsey, Patrick McCary, and Anton Harrison. But to your point, Chuba Edoga has been really good at that right guard spot. Patrick McCary can play a lot of positions. He really can. It was interesting. McCary was at right guard, and Wyatt Milam, who got nicked a little bit, was at right tackle. So maybe they are going to keep McCary at guard no matter what, but it was interesting to see that. But I still find myself thinking, keep an eye. Cleveland and Hainsey are starters. After that, I still say keep an eye on those other 3 spots.
And we know McCary is at one of the other 3.
Yeah, you would imagine, right?
I can't imagine they'd sign him to that contract.
Yeah.
And then he would not start week 1.
Yeah, and I don't know how much he's practiced at anything other than right guard here, but I would imagine, but I would, you're probably right. But I'm going to say for today, Hainsey at center, Cleveland at left guard are the ones I feel best about. Keep an eye on just what happens in those other 3. Do they play Chuma Edoga at right guard and move McCary out to right tackle, which you've suggested? Does McCary hold on to that spot and Edoga remains the top backup off the bench? Do they look at Anton Harrison at left tackle if they don't love what Walker Little's doing and play Fred Johnson at right tackle? Do they stay the way they are with it? So again, there's a lot of things in play there. My guess is Walker Little, Cleveland, Hainsey, McCary, and Anton. But I'd watch that. I'd watch the joint practice and see what happens. The good thing is that is a position of depth, which is why they were able to move. Obviously, the obvious reason they were able to move on from Luke Fortner and able to have what they believed is a little bit of a surplus. Let's take a break. When we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about the Jaguars' defense, what we saw defensively, a little bit more about the trade for Colin Saunders. All that coming up. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Frank Frangie here. Experience professional grade at Nimnick Buick GMC, home of the largest inventory of GMC Sierras in Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. This month, save up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500s or enjoy rates as low as 0% APR financing. Yes, 0%. You can't find deals like this anywhere else in Jacksonville. So shop 24/7 online at NimnickBuickGMC.com or at the showroom on Phillips Highway. GMC, we are professional grade.
Hey, Hicken here. Tired of glasses or contacts? Discover customized vision solutions at Bowden Eye & Associates. Dr. Bowden's team offers cutting-edge options like Evo implantable Collamer lenses or refractive lens exchange and classic LASIK, designed to fit your life. Picture perfect vision for reading, driving, or just enjoying the day. It's easier than you think. Call now for your free screening. Bowden Eye & Associates, they're keeping the First Coast focused.
Frank Frangie here. These days, it's hard to know which companies to trust. But when it comes to banking, I trust South State Bank. South State truly values its customers, and they work hard to create meaningful, lasting relationships. I love going into my local branch. I see the same smiling faces I've seen for years. South State is the largest bank headquartered in Florida, so they're able to offer all the banking services you need. You can trust South State Bank. Banking forward. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Get this thing unwrapped here. Duval!
Praz, what in the world are you doing working on your Duval?
That's right, Dan. I really identify with Duval.
You live in St. John's County, knucklehead.
I mean the Duval sub, the Daily Stash Duval. Turkey, ham, melted cheddar, and habanero jack cheeses. Lettuce, tomato, crispy and fresh, you know, like me. I'm sure there's a Daily Stash sub that sums you up.
The boss.
Because, of course,
oven roasted beef, Munster cheese, roasted mushrooms, caramelized onions. It's the boss of all subs. Only available for me.
That's just not true.
What do you mean? I walked in the other day, screamed, "You know it," and said, "A boss for a boss."
Well, no matter who you are, there is a Daily Stash sandwich or sub for you.
Go find yours. They may even make you a boss.
I'm sure they will, because it is Daily Stash.
Where more is better.
And you got that right.
Hey, it's Joe C. When was the last time you flushed out your water heater? Flushing a water heater each year improves its efficiency and extends its lifespan. So call Roland Reese Plumbing for a routine water heater flush out and any other plumbing needs. 260-7059. Roland Reese Plumbing.
It's E.T. here, and did you know that slow speed accidents can still cause serious injuries? Ignoring minor pain today can mean big problems tomorrow. Don't wait. Call my guys at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center, the auto accident experts.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Want to grow your hair back?
IHRS right here in Jacksonville is the only hair transplant clinic in the country that offers multi-unit hair grafting, FUE neograft hair transplants, and the 45-minute effective PRP treatments.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
Thank you, IHRS. IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Schedule a free evaluation and find out how to grow your hair back and keep the hair you have. Call 904-777-IHRS. Take the first step to restoring your hair today. Visit hairforme.com.
Now my hair will grow for the rest of my life. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS has been restoring hair for men and women for over 30 years.
Call now for a free in-person or virtual evaluation. 904-777-IHRS. That's 904-777-4477. Or visit hair4me.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Rattler fires right side. That ball's going to be picked off. And that's lovely along the left sideline. What a terrific play. You just called it. Spun away from a tackle. That is great work. Kenny Lovely stepped up. A brand new Jaguar stepped in front of the pass and ran it back out past the 30-yard line.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
That was a lovely interception.
Nicely done. Yes, it was.
Kenny's lovely.
Made a bunch of those in his career, the way he broke on that ball.
And I wrote his name into the board right before the game. Kind of a new Jaguar.
Yeah.
So, a couple thoughts about the defense. First of all, Colin Saunders. Here's the deal. I think when Liam Cohen talks about this trade, which his next availability, I assume, is tomorrow, I think what you'll hear him say, Hayes, is probably positive stuff about Luke Fortner. Remember, he coached him in college. I think Liam's going to tell you that he likes Luke because I think he does. But there wasn't a place for Luke Fortner on this team. Jonah Monheim went by him, and Jonah Monheim's going to be a very. Did you watch him at all the other game today? He's going to be.
He's impressive.
He's going to be
46 snaps.
Yeah, he's going to be a good player. And so, but I think the thinking is, and if you like Luke, and Luke's a third-round draft pick, why not give Luke a chance to catch on somewhere else? The league is full of stories where a guy, a third, fourth round pick, doesn't pan out one place and pans out somewhere else. Now, look, I watched Luke all those games too. He's got to be more physical. He's got to play he's got to be sturdier. I'm not surprised Luke's not going to be on this team, but I think that's what you're going to see Liam say is what he should say. Say, listen, we want to give Luke another chance to have a start somewhere else and to get a new start. More importantly, though, Hayes, they needed physicality in the middle of that defensive line. Colin Saunders is an interesting story. I did not know who he was until I saw the trade. I'm not surprised. I thought they would try and trade for a defensive lineman. I just didn't know who it would be and how they would do it. Like everybody else, I read about him. I saw that he was on the Chiefs for 2 championships. You knew he played a good deal on those Chiefs teams. And then, of course, I saw the interception in the end zone against the Chiefs. We all saw that. He looked like a fullback, didn't he?
Yeah.
The ball's tipped. If you haven't seen it, go find Colin Saunders' interception in the end zone against the Chiefs, who had traded him. Did he trade him to the Saints, or was he a free agent? But he had left the Chiefs and gone to the Saints, however he got there.
I think he left as a free agent.
So the ball gets tipped. He picks it off, and he starts rambling like a fullback. It was fantastic to watch it. And so he also is a guy with personality. He goes by Bink. Bink Saunders, how he refers to himself on social. He's a captain. He's a leader in their locker room. He's got great personality about him. He's got a charisma to him, and I think this team needs that. I think veteran leadership, veteran charisma, a guy that will get your attention when he's talking. I think that kind of guy matters, Hayes. And I think that mattered on a lot of fronts. The other thing is, look, you hope Devon Hamilton can go back to being what he was before the illness because he's a wonderful guy and everybody in that locker room is rooting for him. But you don't know that that's going to happen. You hope Eric Armstead has something left. You hope Mason Smith is what you want him to be. But you don't know. I mean, if you're the coaching staff, you haven't seen those two guys practice at all. And you've been playing Tyler Lacey there. Tyler's okay, but you needed to get better there. So I don't know if Saunders is ultimately going to be just a shade, because that's what he looks like. He's 6 feet, about 335. Is he going to play some three technique? Interestingly, he was a pretty good pass rusher as a nose guard. Usually you think of a nose guard as those big two-gap guys. All they are is they are there to stuff the runner on third down. They come out of the game. But he actually was a pretty decent press-to-pocket guy, and that's important because if he can be that, if you can be an interior pass rusher just a little, just at least occupy those guys, that makes it harder to chip and double-team Josh Hines Allen and Trayvon Walker. So I'm hopeful, and I'm not going to pretend that I know him better than I do, but I'm hopeful Bink Saunders can really help based on all of that.
Yeah, I think so. And again, Jordan Jefferson's there, 4th-round pick from a year ago, but he hasn't made much of an impact, obviously, in his second year with this new staff. So they had to do something. I mean, it's if you were subpar at that position, it's really hard to field a good defense.
It really is.
Everything starts to break down pretty quick if the opponent knows that, that is going to be an area that they're going to be able to dominate right around the football on every snap, whether that's run game or protecting their quarterback. And so, again, it's, and I commend the Jaguars, Gladstone, for the fact they didn't give up anything of consequence. I mean, they gave up, in my opinion, less than a conditional 7th-round pick, because the conditional 7th-round pick, they may be able to turn that into a player. I mean, look at LaQuinn Allen, look at Jonah Monheim, 2 7th-round picks. Like, Luke Fortner was never going to be anything here. So, maybe he does something in New Orleans, maybe he doesn't. But the big thing is you now have a professional, a guy that is used to playing a lot of snaps, 27 starts over the last 2 years. And I really like the nugget that Jeff Duncan, the columnist in New Orleans at the Times-Picayune, tweeted out after the trade, saying that Saunders was host of the Captain's Corner, which was something that Mark Ingram had done, among others. So he was sort of wondering who's going to step into that leadership void that's being left as well, and called him a key defender. So it was, not only is he a key defender for the Saints, but he is somebody that, it was somebody in the locker room that players looked up to and leaned on. So the Jaguars absolutely need as much of that as they can get. And, I think it's a good trade. Again, I don't think that Colin Saunders is going to go to a Pro Bowl as a Jaguar, but that's fine. He just needs to give them competent play, and so that the defensive tackle position, it's probably still a weakness, but it's hopefully not a glaring weakness. It's a weakness, but it's something that they can at least manage through and hopefully overcome with the excellence they have at other spots on that defense.
Some positions of note on the defense. Weak side linebackers, really interesting. Devin Lloyd had looked like the starter until this week. Ventrell Miller now looks like a guy that he played with the 1 some. Devin Lloyd then came and played with the 2s, if you notice that. Then later on in the game, Ventrell was back with the 2s. It was interesting what they're doing. Foye Oluwakun's their Mike linebacker. There's no debate. I think Yasir Abdullah will be their Sam when they're in base, which isn't very often. The question is that will spot, Hayes. I think it's going to be Ventrell Miller. I think Ventrell Miller, you even saw Devin Lloyd, 2 things. You saw him run with the 2s, and you saw him on a lot of special teams, which makes me wonder if they're going to try and get a lot out of him as a backup. And again, that hadn't been decided yet. But I think Ventrell Miller is going to win that job. And I've said that all along. I'm not new to that. I think he's going to win that job. The cornerback job opposite Tyson Campbell. Jarian Jones seems to be the most consistent guy there when they're in nickel, because that means Jordan Lewis is inside at the nickel. When they're in base, Jordan Lewis is going to be there. Jordan Lewis is a good player, by the way. He's one heck of a player. And finally, the safety spot. It's hard for me not to think Dewey's the guy. I mean, every time they start a game, Dewey's out there. He makes plays. He's around the ball. Antonio Johnson, Darnell Savage, others. Remember, they don't have Ransaw. He's been down for a while. But the ones they do have, I think Dewey's going to be the starter there. What do you think?
I would agree. I mean, I just think particularly as you get into week 1 and you start game planning against Carolina, I don't think Carolina's offense is overly dangerous, but it's overly dangerous if your safety doesn't know where he's supposed to go. And the last thing that this team needs is for Tetero McMillan or, Adam Thielen to be waving their arms 40 yards down the field.
That's right.
Because there's been a blown coverage, a missed assignment. So, yeah, I would start Wingard at this point because Ransaw, obviously, you're probably looking at second half of the season at best, I would think, before he's going to be up to speed and healthy. I mean, we don't know when he'll be healthy, but it's then going to take him time to get up to speed. I like the growth that I'm seeing from Antonio Johnson because there's more of a playmaker there, but he's got to earn the staff's trust. And, I don't know that he's done that yet. If he ever gets to a part on an equal footing with Wingard when it comes to the mental game and what's being asked of him, then Antonio Johnson will be the starter. But I don't think he's close to that. And if I was Liam Cohen, I would not want to walk off the field in a couple of weeks with a loss to Carolina because of missed assignments in the back end. So, if you lose a game because Tetero McMillan, out jumps Wingard in the end zone for the game winner, I think you tip your hat to Carolina and you move on to next week. You just can't hand them the game. And I would agree. I think it's going to be the two smartest players, Murray and Wingard, in terms of the scheme, being the starting safeties.
More NFL talk after this. It's 1010XL and 92.5 FM.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Joe C. from XLP, and I hope you will join us at the Hodges Ale House, corner of Hodges and Beach Boulevard, as we say farewell to our head coach, Dave Campo, Tuesday the 19th. Make sure you're there noon to 2 with XLP.
This is Hayes Carline for Atlantic Infinity. If you're shopping for a new ride, you've got to check out Atlantic Infinity. Not only do you get a luxury vehicle, you also get the Atlantic Infinity Promise free with every new car. That's almost $2,500 in added value just for buying smarter, and you don't have to sweat it out on the lot. Shop in their indoor, climate-controlled showroom. It's cool, comfortable, and hassle-free. They're on Atlantic near St. John's Bluff, or browse anytime at AtlanticInfinity.com.
Now this is how you end a summer. Under the lights, surrounded by history. The driver's last shot at the playoffs. Your last chance to see regular season action. Friday night, Xfinity lights the fuse. Saturday night, the Cup Series delivers the fireworks. This is Daytona. This is everything. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 22nd and 23rd. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to ITPPartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
If you're playing fantasy football, you might want a little help. Get 1010XL's Fantasy Football Draft Guide with in-depth player bios and the top 32 rankings at every position. Get the guide at 1010XL.com and on all of the 1010XL social channels.
After our son's shoulder issues were worsening, we took him to see Dr. Snyder at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, who recommended PRP treatment. We trusted Dr. Snyder's evaluation and look forward to seeing him pitch again. For the right care, the best care, we highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hey, Hicken here for my friends at Clean and Freaks at Zero Res. Great time of the year to get your house Zero Resified. And right now, you can get your entire home clean from Jacksonville's ultimate carpet cleaner. You'll get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at just $135. Plus, they're throwing in a free hallway and take $100 off the air duct cleaning. Schedule your appointment at ZeroResJacksonville.com or call 287-5727 and ask for the 1010XL special. Zero Res, spell it backwards or forwards. It spells the same. Zero Res.
Zero Res. I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop. Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop. A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
Right now, they're on their way to disrupt your life, make you uncomfortable, and rob you. Don't bother calling the police. They can't help. That's right. Summer heat and humidity are about to attack North Florida again. You know what to do. Call Mike Merritt. Mike Merritt's Heating and Air has a license to chill. When heat and humidity are attacking you, Mike Merritt provides a comfortable chill at a bargain price. Mike has been keeping North Florida comfortable for 30 years. Mike Merritt technicians are never paid commissions, meaning you'll never be pressured to buy something you don't need. And Mike Merritt knows cooling issues can arise anytime. They don't just happen during business hours. So Mike Merritt never charges overtime fees. When you need us, we're here for you. Remember, in the fight against heat and humidity, Mike Merritt has a license to chill. Visit merrittair.com. Florida license number CACO 50384.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. 1010
Take.
The 1010 Take is brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter, plumbing, septic, and air conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck, duckduckrooter.com. The trade the Jags just made for Colin Saunders might be the most important one they will make all year, and here's why. The Jags look like they have a pretty good football team in a lot of areas. I believe defensive tackle was the one weak spot they had that I didn't feel good about the roster. I don't know how good Colin Saunders is, but I know he's charismatic. I know he's a leader. I know he's a guy that people will respond to, and I know he's 335 pounds, and he's athletic, and he will stuff the middle. In my opinion, they filled the one hole, and maybe the only glaring hole I thought they had. That's how important I think this move is. I can't wait to see Colin Saunders play for the Jags in the middle of that defensive line, and that is the 10-10 take. All right, some other things I want to get to, by the way. And I've thought this. I thought this before the draft. I thought this last football season. I thought this when I hung on for dear life, watching on my television set, big screen television set, gripping the side of my couch and hoping the Gators would hold on against the University of Mississippi, coached by Lane Kiffin. And after watching Jackson Dart pass and run crazy, I was so thrilled when Bryce, is it Thornton or Lovett? Who's this defensive back for Florida? There's a Bryce
Thornton.
Lovett and a Bryce Thornton. One's a lineman. There's Bryce Thornton. One of the Bryces.
Yeah.
One of the Bryces picked him off, and then one of the Bryces picked him off again. I think Jackson Dart is really good. I said during the draft period he's better than Shedeur Sanders. I think I thought he was one of the best 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the country last year. And you know this because you sat next to me and did this show every day. I didn't say that because all of a sudden at the end of the draft he started moving up the boards and snuck into the first round. I told you that. You can validate me here. Yeah. I liked him all along. He's a really good player. On Saturday against the Jets, albeit in a preseason game, he was 14 of 16 for 137 yards and a touchdown. Now that is on the heels.
And ran for a touchdown.
And he ran for a touchdown. That dude is going to be a really good NFL player. We might be watching Joe Burrow. I mean, he might be the next Joe Burrow. Let me remind people about Jackson Dart for people that don't know. Okay, let me remind you something about Jackson Dart. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year as a high school. Did you know that? Gatorade Player of the Year as a high school player. 5-star, went to USC. He, as a freshman, was playing behind Keaton Slovis. Slovis, then the coach got fired. The interim coach puts Dart in as a freshman. He's like 30 of 45 for 400 yards and a bunch of touchdowns, and they blow out Washington State. Then they hire Lincoln Riley. What does Lincoln Riley do?
Goes gets this guy.
He brings Caleb Williams. So Jackson Dart, this highly regarded, unbelievably high prospect, goes, well, that sucks. And Lane Kiffin gets him to go to Ole Miss. We forgot about him. The college football world forgot about Jackson Dart, right? That's what happened. They forgot about him. So he winds up playing for Kiffin. And because it's Ole Miss, even though he's very good, they're not quite, he's not Alabama. If he'd have gone to Alabama or LSU, the world would not have forgotten about him. But he went to Ole Miss. And as good as Kiffin has made Ole Miss, let's be honest, it's Ole Miss, right? I think the guy's really good. We forgot how good he was because of the whole Lincoln Riley, Caleb Williams thing. I think he's going to be a really, really good NFL player.
Do you think the Giants should make him week 1 starter?
I would. Now, they spent a lot of money on Russ, and I get it, and there's commitments, but I think he's better than Russ Wilson today. I would make him the day 1 starter. And you made a good point. They're good defensively. So, or maybe Prisco made this point. They're good. They have a really good defense.
Yeah, they have a really good defensive line.
So they may lean on that early on, play the veteran. I think Prisco said that, but I think yes. I mean, I think we're looking at Joe Burrow. I think we're looking at a Pro Bowl player that people are going to go, what did he pick? Where did he go? 16, 15?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
I think we're looking at a guy people are going to go, how in the world did he get to 16? That's what I think.
He's been super impressive. And again, in the preseason opener, he did exactly what you want to see a young quarterback do. This is before the outing that he just had where he was 14 of 16. He has got pressure coming right up the middle. And Jackson Dart fires a ball 30 yards to the end zone on a dot, and never shied away from the contact, the pressure and he knew he was going to get hit. And that's the toughest throw for a rookie quarterback to make. And, I mean, again, it shows accuracy. It shows toughness, which is going to translate to, being able to galvanize the players around you. The leadership feeds off of touchdown throws like that. And obviously he's very much in control to put up these kind of numbers, and he gives you a little bit of a running element too. So I'm with you. If I was Dayball, I would go with Jackson Dart and not look back. So we'll see. Their schedule is brutal. We've talked about how difficult the Giants' schedule is, but I think their best bet to shock people is for Jackson Dart to be obviously a different style player, but this year's version of Jaden Daniels, where it's like, oh, who thought he was going to be this?
That's what
out of the gate.
That's what I think you're getting. I think you're getting a who saw this coming right out of the gate. We'll take a break. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little golf. Stay with us.
The Frangie Show from the Harold and Harold studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
Travis Pastrana here from Nitro Circus Live, and you're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM, Jack Sports Radio.
With Lee and Kate's glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
Hey, it's Frank Frangie. Look, when it comes to glass needs around the home, there's one name I trust, Lee and Kate's. It's local, family-owned, and they've been part of our community since 1926. They've taken great care of me over the years, and I know they'll do the same for you. Visit LeeandKatesGlass.com.
With Lee and Kate's Glass, you're gonna see a big difference.
This is Hayes Carline from my friend Holt at Harold & Harold. There doesn't seem to be enough time in the day to get everything done. Then you get injured in an accident, and you don't know what you're going to do. Let Harold & Harold make it easy for you. Easy on becoming a client. You can just text or email if you want. Easy on finding a doctor and getting through the process. Hopefully you won't need them, but if you're ever injured, call Harold & Harold and make it easy on yourself. Call them at 904-251-1111. That's 251-1111.
XL Primetime is back weekdays noon to 2, and on Wednesdays, join Dr. George Bari at 1:20 for the latest in sports injuries from all the big names in the game. Make sure you catch Dr. George Bari on XL Primetime Wednesdays at 1:20 on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Chelsea here from Renewal by Anderson. You've seen and heard our ads where I talk about Renewal by Anderson's exclusive Fiberx material, twice as strong as vinyl, incredibly energy efficient, and custom built to fit your home perfectly. But if you haven't reached out yet, August only, Renewal by Anderson is offering triple savings. $300 off every window, $825 off every patio door, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Schedule your free consultation today at bestwindowsflorida.com. License number CGC 1527613.
If life blindsided you tomorrow, would your family struggle? I'm Cody with Harborstone Financial, and I can help. One call could protect your family for life. 904-885-9566. Harborstone Financial.
The flagship station of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Hey Jacksonville, Lauren Brooks here from Helmets and Heels. Summer heat has settled in, but don't sweat it. Big Chief Tire has your back with $50 off all AC services. Whether your system needs a quick recharge or a full repair, their expert team will keep you cool and road ready all season long. With 6 locations around Jacksonville, trusted service is always nearby. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com or call 904-932-0950 to schedule your AC service. Big Chief Tire keeps Jacks rollin'.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm? Well, now you can. Frank Frangie here for the farm at Okefenokee, just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. With only 250 cabins at full build-out, it's a rare chance to live off-grid, but not alone, in a community grounded in nature, food, and purpose. Explore trails, kayak Blackwater creeks, or harvest from your own land. Learn more at okefarm.com. That's okefarm.com.
Florida Home AC, the official AC partner of the Jaguars. Make them your AC partner. With honest cost estimates before they start the work with no hidden fees. Call 777-4300 for Florida Home AC.
I'm Frank Frangie, and you've heard me tell you how much success my daughter Amber is having with the Awaken 180 weight loss program. But Amber, maybe it's time you should tell them.
I think they'd rather hear from you, Dad. You're the radio guy.
Yeah, but in this case, you're the one doing all the work.
But that's the thing, Dad. It doesn't feel like work. The food is great. I never feel hungry. My coach, Mary, is so good, so encouraging. If you follow the plan, Awaken 180 really works.
Well, everyone I know that's tried it has said the same thing. The result is people not only look better, but they feel better. I've kind of known you your whole life, and I can tell you feel great.
I feel better than I have in years. I love that part. I feel so good. I have Awaken 180 to thank for that.
So you heard it from my kid, and you can feel great too. Just call 1-844-346-1800. That's 1-844-346-1800, or visit awaken180weightloss.com and start your transformation today.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Kuhn Flowers. Luke Poulter, a junior on the Florida Gators men's golf team and son of pro golfer Ian Poulter, has been named to the European Walker Cup team, which is the Ryder Cup for amateur golf happening in September. Victor Mesa Jr. walked it off for the Jumbo Shrimp last night, snapping their losing streak, beating Norfolk Tide 6-5. They're off today, but face the Worcester Red Sox starting tomorrow. It's 84 degrees at 4:59. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Clockwork Cash Out happens this weekend at all those Best Bet locations. Play the table games from 6 p.m. to midnight, Friday and Saturday night, for your chance to win $500 every 30 minutes. Man, the Best Bet has it going on. You want to have a good time. Get over to the Best Bet. Best Bet in Jacksonville's on Monument Road. Best Bet Orange Park on 17, US 17. And, of course, the Best Bet St. Augustine right off of I-95 as you head that way. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. Hour 2 about to begin. I'm now convinced of two things. A, Scottie Scheffler is not human. You don't have to be human. B, Scottie Scheffler has not. There's things you don't figure out. Sometimes athletes take a while to figure stuff out, Hayes. Scottie Scheffler has not figured out golf's really hard, because this is ridiculous. It's now gotten to where, I mean, and I'll get to the chip in on 17 in a minute, but to win, to continuously win against that field of players, he's won. This is the first time someone's won five tournaments 2 years in a row since Tiger did it almost 20 years ago. I mean, that it's just, let me say that again. He's won 5 or more tournaments 2 years in a row. Nobody on tour has done that since Tiger Woods did it 20 years ago or close to 20 years ago. It's one of the most amazing runs I've ever seen. And golf's hard. I mean, one screw up, the difference between hitting it flush and missing the green by 20 yards is so incredibly minuscule. And the players are so skilled that to have a guy that I got to tell you, I'm watching it on Saturday. And when it ended on Saturday, I think he was down 4 shots. I think, I want to say McIntyre birdied late and maybe Scheffler missed a birdie or bogeyed maybe. It was a 4-shot. It was down 4 at the end of the day, right, on Saturday. And I remember thinking Scheffler's going to win. Didn't you think that?
Without a doubt.
I mean, Scheffler's going to win. And then, of course, so let me tell you. So the game ends. All right, we call the Jaguar. I'm calling the Jaguar Saints game, and it's on Central Time, right? So the game ends at essentially 4 o'clock Eastern Time. So, but I'm thinking it was only 3 o'clock Central, so I got some time. It's 4:15 Eastern Time. So game's over. Go back. The team does the media. We get on the buses, okay? And the buses are on their way to the airport to fly back on the charter. So I pull up my phone. I want to watch it, okay? And as I'm walking to the bus, I'll pull it up, and I don't remember. I think he's up 1, maybe. I think he's up 14. He's down. He's 14 under. McIntyre's 13, something like that. Okay, but now I'm getting screened and checked, and so I put my phone away and blah 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 and get on the bus. The bus to go to the airport. When I get on the bus, as I'm getting ready to pull it back up on so I can watch it on my phone, I go to Twitter. Everybody's blowing up. You tweeted chicken fingers. So everybody else is, he's not human. He's not human. So I'm thinking, what happened? I had not seen the chip in. Obviously, you guys all responded right after the chip in. Then I went back and watched a video of it. And I thought, of course he chipped in. Of course he's 1 shot away. McIntyre, who's playing great. Of course Scheffler chipped in.
On the hardest hole on the course.
On the hardest hole on the course. I will tell you, he's not Tiger, not quite, but boy, he's close to being Tiger. This isn't Tiger-like dominance yet, but man, oh man, is it close. And I'm not exaggerating. It is close, Hayes, about as close as we'll ever see to someone being like Tiger.
His dominance is close, and I'm a huge Scottie Scheffler fan, but to me, Tiger at his peak would kill Scottie Scheffler at his peak. I mean, while I think that we haven't seen anything like Tiger, I still think there's a pretty good separation between peak Scheffler and peak Tiger. But having said that, that doesn't mean that what Scottie Scheffler is doing isn't complete brilliance, and it is. And the mental toughness, he doesn't have his caddy. It doesn't matter. It's just, I think there'd been 3 birdies on the 17th hole yesterday until he made that chip in. And it wasn't a fluke. It was perfectly paced. It was just a brilliant shot at a brilliant time to put the tournament away, because it put him up a couple shots on McIntyre. And the thing, too, is Scheffler had mistakes. He missed a couple of really close putts on the back 9 where we've seen it in recent weeks for a lot of players. That sort of derails them, and it's hard for them to gather themselves. Scheffler is the best going in terms of that mental toughness of shaking off whatever mistake he just made, the rare ones that he makes. And even though he missed a couple easy putts on the back 9 yesterday, he's still putting great. I think he's 16th on the PGA Tour this year, which is just remarkable from where he was 2 years ago. And so he's just become an all-around great player. And it's it's astonishing. He's been now top 8 in his last 13 events, which is the best streak that we've seen going back to the early 1970s with Weiskopf. So, I mean, it's just that he's a flawless player right now. He's by far the best player of his generation. And look, I think you can make a case that, you know, he is trending towards being clearly the third best player to ever do it. I don't think, in my estimation, I don't think I'll ever be able to put him equal to Tiger. And I don't think because of that I'll ever be able to put him with Nicklaus, who obviously I just saw the 86 Masters. Really, was all I got to see of Jack. But I mean, it is simply remarkable, and obviously I think that he's going to go to Eastlake, and even though he doesn't get the scoring advantage anymore, it's not going to matter. It may have a little bit more drama, but I think you're getting ready to see a coronation at Eastlake where Scheffler wins the playoff.
Yeah, and whether or not he can ultimately be compared to Tiger or Nicklaus is inconsequential now anyway. It's too early anyway. But the point is, we haven't seen domination like this since Tiger. That's what everybody agrees on. It's a bizarre haze. And I think what makes it so mind-boggling is how unassumingly normal he just seems. I mean, Koepka and DeChambeau are broad-shouldered, look like they were fraternity guys. You know, they look like they could have been quarterbacks if they weren't golfers, right? Dustin Johnson married Gretzky's daughter, and JT and Spieth are known for how almost diminutive and unassuming they come off, and Fowler's got all the colorful clothes, and Bubba Watson had the mullet and the left-handed swing and the pink driver. You know, everybody there's something. Daly had all, you know, he is so absurdly normal. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a guy that if you're at a restaurant with your wife and he's there with his wife and kid sitting there in a golf shirt and a pair of shorts eating wings, in 12,000 years, you'd never think that's one of the elite sports personalities in the world. He's one of the greatest in the world right now. Yet if you saw him, you'd think, hey, let me get my taxes to you on time because April 15th is around the corner, right? Isn't that what you think?
Yeah, I mean, he looks like just obviously everyman.
He looks like a guy that goes to work at 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock and gets back at 5, and I mean, almost every athlete that has achieved greatness, golfers among them, have a distinct something about them. He doesn't. He's just a regular cat.
Just big fundamentals. Yeah, I mean, and even his fundamentals aren't great. I mean, maybe that's what he has. He has the flight foot goes flying. And
but I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, I'm thinking about I mean, he's so good. I mean, it's just amazing to this regular looking cat. You know, I mean, he's not fat. He's not skinny. He's not in great shape. He's not in bad shape. He's not a good looking guy. He's not a bad looking guy. He's just, you know, regular cat you see on the street. I guess that's what I'm so taken by in all this.
Yeah, and he didn't really have a ton of hype, you know, coming into the tour. Right. So he also wasn't billed as like this next great, you know, player. But you can tell even like his colleagues have now they've seen it so much that now they're sort of that's Scottie. But for a while, it was almost like you could tell with them there was a sense of, how is this happening and how long is this going to last for? Because he wasn't supposed to be this.
Right.
And now there's been this acceptance of, no, this is who he is. And it is amazing with all the millions that he's won and all the obvious prestigious titles that he's won, that it really hasn't affected him.
No,
he has the same coach he's had since he was a kid, and he's very loyal to his caddy. But if he doesn't have his caddy, who obviously was away for family emergency, you know, but he picks up another caddy who he's friends with, and you know, goes and wins the event, and yeah, it really is amazing. And and that's the thing. 4 shots. You never felt like that was going to be too much for Scheffler. And again, McIntyre is a nice player, but it's not like he's done this a bunch. So it was a player that you kind of felt like could struggle a bit in the moment, and he did. He was very volatile,
and that's going to be his thing now.
Yeah, and but Scheffler's not. Scheffler isn't volatile. He 3-putted from about 9 feet on the back nine and didn't let it bother him. Just went to 17 and made probably the chip of the year on the PGA Tour, and collected another big event, big check, and certainly he'll be the favorite to win the whole thing this week.
Very committed to his faith. Deep Christian faith, very committed to his family, very committed to your point, to being the same guy he always has been. And it really is. It's just you could not be a megastar. There could not be a megastar who comes off as less of a megastar. And that's kind of refreshing. And again, by now, if you haven't seen Happy Gilmore 2, well then I'm sorry. Turn the radio. You can now turn the radio off, because if I'm ruining it I wasn't going to ruin it for you before, but now I will tell you. You've had enough time to watch it now. But the scene at the end of that movie, when toward the end of the movie, when he's getting arrested for, I don't even remember what he did, but when the cops are coming and he puts his hands behind the back and goes, "Not again." That is really funny. Okay, and again, I'm sorry if I move it. You've had enough time to see the movie now. If I'm ruining it for you now,
he beats a guy up on the other tour.
Yeah, that's what it was. So he was not again. And then the funniest line in the movie to me, and again, turn the radio off if you don't want to hear this, because you've had enough time. They've had enough time to see it now. Yeah. You've had enough time to see Happy Gilmore 2 now. But he's laying on a bench in jail with his golf clothes on and no shoes, in his little footy socks, and in his hat, and the jailer guy goes, "Do you want to make that call now?
You've been here 3 days.
You've been here 3 days. You want to make that call now?" And he goes, "What's dinner tonight? Chicken fingers? No, I'll stay another night." That was the way he said it was just hilarious. So
he was great Friday when Doug Ferguson asked him about changing the system.
And he mentioned Cantlay.
Yeah, and he was like, so basically like, does it make the tour championship? Does it lessen it at all that like a Patrick Cantlay can win it? And he's like, "Well, we're just gonna name names now."
Exactly
is that what we're gonna do? I mean, he's very funny.
Yeah, he is. But
easy to cheer for.
It's really it's honestly amazing how he's done. Let's take a break. Hayes has headlines after this. Stay with us.
It's the ride home with the Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
It's D-Rock's deep dive into Jacksonville football.
Hey, where's your sense of adventure? Mike DeRocco with Mike Dempsey and Fat Tony every Thursday on Jaguars Today. Opened by Lee and Kate's Glass on 1010XL.
Hi, folks. I'm Frangie, and I got to tell you, I can't fix anything. I would be so lost with plumbing problems if not for Duck Duck Rooter. But everybody knows to call the Duck. Well, I do too. Whether it's plumbing, air conditioning, septic, they handle all of it, and nobody does a better job than our friends at Duck Duck Rooter. Any of those needs you have, call them today, 904-862-6769, or go to duckduckrooter.com. If you've got problems, call Duck Duck Rooter. They'll handle it. I guarantee it.
After 3 years, the Hacker Fantasy League is back here in 2025. Thursday night, August the 21st, at Twin Peaks on Atlantic and Kernan, the HFL is back. Be listening to Hacker After Dark for your chance to enter.
Frangie here for my friend and insurance agent, Craig Dewhurst. Craig has been helping families on the First Coast with their insurance needs for 25 years as your good neighbor and local State Farm agent. Now's a great time to review your insurance policies, whether you need auto, homeowners, or renter's insurance, or insurance for your golf cart, boat, or jet skis. Craig handles all of my family's insurance needs, and even better, he gives back to the community. Call Craig today at 904-940-9740. That's 904-940-9740.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here. Only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do. Stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Are you 18 years or older, just got married, just got divorced, or have children? Listen up. Have you done your last will and estate planning? If you have questions, call Matt Hinson with the Hinson Law Firm. Reach him at 527-1700, offices Jacksonville, Florida. And don't let the state decide your fate.
This is Greg Huntington, a.k.a. The Mangler. I'm on the winning team at Waste Management. If your business needs sustainable environmental services for waste removal and recycling collection, then you can count on the industry leader of WM to deliver results. Go to WM.com/Duval.
When the heat is on and we need a show we really care, do it with a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. This is Dylan Denmark. Let's make their day better than yesterday. Online at kuhnflowers.com since 1947.
Right now at Beard's Diamonds, pay $0 down and get 0 interest financing for 5 whole years. Yes, you heard it right. That $12,000 designer engagement ring is yours now for just $200 a month. This makes everything affordable. How about a $6,000 diamond eternity band, just $100 a month? Say goodbye to high interest rates. Get the relief you deserve at Beard's Diamonds. But hurry, this incredible offer ends August 31st and will not be extended. How about a $3,000 pair of diamond earrings, only $50 a month? Make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with 0 down and 0 interest financing. Rings, earrings, bands, bracelets, pendants, colored gemstone jewelry. Let our non-commissioned experts at Beards help you find the perfect piece of jewelry and take advantage of our best financing offer ever. Beards Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center, Jacksonville's premier locally owned jeweler. Shop now and enjoy 0 interest financing for 5 years. Hurry, this amazing offer ends August 31st. On approved credit, some restrictions apply. See store for details.
1010XL is presented by Farrah & Farrah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Gather round. It's Hayes' Headlines, presented by Harrell & Harrell. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Hear all about it. Here's Hayes Carline.
All right, welcome back to the Frangie Show. Frank Frangie is here. We've got JJ LaSelva. I am Hayes Carline. Thank you to our friends at Harrell & Harrell. Give them a call at 251-1111. Frank, we're going to start with the Jaguars-Saints game. It ended in a tie, but all aspects of the starting offense really shined in that first half. What stood out to you?
Yeah, number one, the fact that Trevor Lawrence was 8 out of 10 on the heels of being 6 out of 7 in the first preseason game, that he's into a rhythm, that Parker Washington and Brenton Strange are really good weapons to go with Brian Thomas Jr., Travis Hunter, and De'Ami Brown. The fact that the running back room seems so deep, and I'm so impressed with all of them. I think that's more than anything else. The offense, the defense did a good job against Saints backups, but that wasn't what I was there to look for. I don't know that any of that jumped off the page for me. What did jump off the page is the great work of that offensive group.
I thought you were going to get to call another Cam Little bomb, but we were cheated out of that. Were you surprised at how the end of the game went?
Yeah, I was. But I got it. Look. You think why not just run the ball one time and then let him? Well, what's a 60-yarder? I mean, we lose. His leg is so strong. We start thinking 60-yarders, or like Jeff Lagerin said to me, it was a 60-yarder, so it made sense. Throw a quick little slant. It seems like a safe pass, which it really does. Throw a quick little. Seth Hennigan was pretty good. What lost in all that was the throw he made to set him up in that to the backup tight end. Throw a quick little slant. Turn a 60-yarder into about a 49, 50-yarder, and it didn't turn out that way. But yeah, I thought that's where we were headed. I thought, of course, he was going to make it. By the way, I mean, I don't know if you heard my call on the 53-yarder, but at the 53-yarder, are you kidding me? he's not even paying attention. And so, I thought it was going to end that way.
Yeah, that was unfortunate, but oh well, it's just a preseason game. Let's get it to the trade the Jaguars made, sending center Luke Fortner to the Saints for defensive tackle Colin Saunders. The 29-year-old Saunders started 27 games over the last 2 seasons combined for New Orleans. Fortner, meanwhile, a backup here and was unlikely to make the 53.
Yeah, Saunders also a guy that was a part of 2 Kansas City Super Bowl winning teams. Charismatic guy, leader, guy active on social media, a guy that people respond to, and a good physical player that pushes the pocket a little bit as a pass rusher, not just a run stuffer. So, Hayes, that's the position that concerned most of us. I say most of us, many of us, me, principal among those, that defensive front. I was worried about defensive tackle. I said that all along. Defensive tackle is the position that concerned me. I was worried that they didn't have enough at defensive tackle. Still a little worried, by the way, because I don't know what Saunders will give them. But that was a move they had to make, and they traded a guy that wasn't going to make their team. A very good move by the Jaguar brass.
Let's get to around the AFC South. We'll start in Tennessee. Rookie quarterback Cam Ward, 2 of 7 for 42 yards with no touchdowns or picks versus the Falcons. But that comes with a caveat. He threw one of the best, most beautiful deep balls you will see that Van Jefferson just flat dropped.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you saw the play.
I did.
It was beautiful. So obviously if Cam Ward hits that, he's now 3 of 7 for 85 yards. But anyway, nonetheless, that Titans offense on the whole continuing to struggle.
Yeah, the play you're talking about, he stepped up and it was like it was a deep over route. And it was almost like Van put his hands up late because it looked like it went off his hand and said, well, he threw it too hard or too far. But then if you saw the end zone view you're talking about, he should have got his hands up and caught the ball. I think Cam Ward's going to be pretty good. He looks pretty confident to me, pretty comfortable. I don't know that the Titans are going to be good, but I think in time Cam Ward will be a good quarterback. I don't know if the Titans are going to be good this year, but in time he'll be a good quarterback for them.
The Colts fell to the Packers 23-19. Daniel Jones, 7 of 11 for 101 yards with no touchdowns or picks. Anthony Richardson, 6 of 11 for 73 yards with no touchdowns and no picks. Shane Steichen's got to be like, who am I going to give this job to? Because it seems like they're about dead even now with 1 preseason game left to go.
Yeah, Richardson's going to win the tie. He's the guy they drafted 4th overall. I think Richardson's going to be the quarterback. Steichen said over the weekend that he's close to naming a starter. He might do it this week. I think it's Anthony Richardson. I think it was Anthony Richardson's job to lose. They brought in Daniel Jones because of Richardson's inaccuracy and ineffectiveness and injury history. But Jones was going to have to beat him out. This wasn't going to be tie. This is tie goes to the runner. Well, the tie was going to go to the incumbent here. I'll bet you Anthony Richardson starts the season.
The Texans were sharp on offense in a win over Carolina. C.J. Stroud completed 6 of 8 for 44 yards and a touchdown. So good for the Texans. But again, this is now 2 weeks in a row. Carolina looks like they've got nothing on defense.
Yeah, as for the Texans, people in Houston think it's going to be a bounce back year for CJ. Like, he wasn't terrible last year, but he looked like a future all-pro 2 years ago. It'll be interesting to see if they bounce back, if he bounces back like they suggest. Yeah, Carolina looks like a team that might really struggle yet again.
Let's get it to around the NFL. Jackson Dart shines again, completing 14 of 16 passes for 137 yards with a passing and rushing touchdown for the Giants. Should he be the Week 1 starter?
Yes, I told you earlier, and I won't go through it all again, but I said this earlier in the show. We forget how good he was. He was the Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. Went to USC, finally got to play a game as a freshman and lit it up. But then USC hires Lincoln Riley. He brings Caleb Williams. Jackson Dart has to leave then. Winds up at Ole Miss, and because he's not at Alabama or LSU or Texas, people forget about him. Wound up being terrific for Ole Miss. I think he's going to be a really good pro, and I'd start him right now.
Preseason Week 2 concludes tonight with Cincinnati traveling to Washington. Will you be watching?
Yeah, I will be watching, and I can't get enough football, like you, probably the same way, because we're not normal humans. Or maybe nowadays we are normal humans, and we'll be watching. 2 intriguing teams. I think Washington might be really good. I think they might be really good. And so if Jaden Daniels is what it looks like, well, that's two fun quarterbacks to watch. That's LSU versus LSU, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. And again, you can sort of get your scouting hat on tonight because the Jaguars play the Bengals in week 2. Speaking of the Bengals, they are now trying to trade star defensive end Trey Hendrickson after contract talks continue to stall. Cincinnati now fielding calls and listening. Is there a team out there that you think would be a good fit for Hendrickson?
I'm very surprised at this. By the way, I saw this note when that story came up. I didn't realize this. The last team to trade a player that led the league in sacks. Do you know who it was? Did you see this note?
I did not.
The last team to trade a player who led the league in sacks, Kansas City traded Jared Allen to the Vikings. Did you realize he started in Kansas City?
I did know that. I didn't know that.
I did not even realize that. So I think they're crazy. And if the acrimony is that significant between them, it's shame on the Browns. I say the Browns, the Brown family who owns the Bengals. Shame on the Bengals for not being able to work that out. This is a guy that it's hard to lead the league in sacks, man. It's hard. I'm shocked that as important as pass rushers are, I'm surprised the Bengals are now going to try and trade him. To your question, yeah, the other 31. Which team makes sense? The other 31. That's who makes sense.
Absolutely. Cleveland has named its starting quarterback for week 1. The Browns are going with veteran Joe Flacco. Good luck, Cleveland.
I'll say this. I've seen Mick, Bruce, handful of others in their 70s. I feel like that's what I'm watching. I mean, goodness gracious. And Joe Flacco has been a very good quarterback in the league, and certainly even old Joe Flacco has been a problem for the Jags. I know that, but I would, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel or Kenny Pickett or Hayes Carlyon, I would get to the next guy. I no disrespect. You know what, Hayes? If you're a legitimate playoff contender and you just have everything but quarterback, then play the old guy and see if he can get you there. I'm very surprised by this. Unless they're better than I think they are. And I know Stefanski's trying to keep his job. He's on the hot seat. I get it. But I'm very surprised they haven't. That's a weird quarterback situation there. Deshaun Watson's still on the roster. They drafted 2 guys. They traded for Pickett. What are they doing?
It's been a nightmare because of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
And this is their attempt to recover, but it's probably going to be pretty dismal. Let's get into college football. Alabama's returning leading rusher running back Jam Miller sustained an upper body injury in a scrimmage and will miss the opener at Florida State.
The Noles,
senior rushed for 668 yards and 7 touchdowns last
Watch
season.
the Noles. The Noles are waiting. They're quietly waiting, Hayes. I think Alabama is a very interesting story this year with Ty Simpson, the second year under Kalen DeBoer. That means another handful of Nick Saban recruits are gone, right? I mean, another handful, however many left for the draft last year are gone. Boy, Alabama fans are going to be watching very closely this football season for sure.
Without a doubt. Let's get it to Major League Baseball. The Brewers' win streak hits 14, but the franchise record streak ended Sunday in a 3-2 loss to the Reds in 10 innings. It was the longest winning streak in the majors since 2019. Milwaukee got back on the winning side of things today, 7-0 over the Cubbies.
I turned around and watched them. I told you I watched them all 3 days. They're really good. They are really, really good, Hayes. They are. I mean, the way they play, they're a tough dang out. Well, no kidding, Frank. They got the best record in baseball. But I mean, you can see it. You can see it when you watch them. By the way, for tonight, I get to watch the Blue Jays bury my team after the Brewers buried my team. So you watch enough teams bury your team, you get an idea. JJ, I can't wait to watch the Blue Jays. I haven't watched them much, but they're really good too.
Yeah, they have a couple good arms. Vladdy, of course, just one of the most fun players in baseball. What's his name's son? Oh, Bichette.
Yeah.
Bo Bichette, another one to watch. But yeah, they're a team that I thought was supposed to peak like a couple years ago. Never did, and I just put them in the back of my mind, and they're finally playing well.
Yeah, they are, and and the Brewers roughed up Skeens. Well, tonight it's Skeens versus the Blue Jays.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm gonna as I try and get ready for the postseason, I'm gonna watch that.
What time is that?
6:40.
Nice.
I'll be there.
So we got a pretty good night of sports tonight.
We really do.
NFL and we got
NFL, right.
Skeens.
That's right.
Good stuff. We'll get you out on our musical note of the day. On this date, back in 1986, Bon Jovi releases its 3rd studio album, Slippery When Wet. The album would climb to the top of the Billboard charts and sell over 28 million copies. This is You Give Love a Bad Name.
I love Bon Jovi. You're a Bon Jovi fan?
Yeah,
I really like Bon Jovi. I think they're a really good American rock band. You don't have to be. Not everybody's got to be one of the greatest musical groupings of all time. Sometimes you can just be a damn good American rock band. You know that? Bon Jovi's that. Well done. This is good. Back in a moment. This is 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
The best place to get trucks is Nimnick Chevrolet, but did you know Nimnick Chevrolet is way more than just trucks? While most dealerships are running low, Nimnick has the largest inventory of new Chevy SUVs in town right on their lot. With low promotional rates, now is the time to save big on the most popular Chevy SUVs like the all-new redesigned Equinox. Plus, with cash incentives and Nimnick savings, you'll save thousands only at Nimnick. If you're looking for better fuel economy or just need a little more room for your growing family, Nimnick Chevrolet's wide range of models ready to drive means you'll find exactly what you're looking for at Nimnick. So head to Nimnick today. Of course, it's the best place for trucks. When you go to Nimnick, it's way more than trucks. It's great SUVs as well. So hit the Nimnick today. Where's the best place to get cars, trucks, and SUVs? Nobody but Nimnick.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Resto Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Resto Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestoProsNEFlorida.com. That's RestoProsNEFlorida.com.
Resto Pros!
My son had a meniscus surgery a couple of years ago. Went smooth as silk, was playing tennis in 2 weeks. This is Patrick Malarkey, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Our son Eric's a Division I collegiate baseball pitcher who is having shoulder pain. We took him to Southeast Orthopedic Specialist and are confident that he's now on the road to recovery. This is Beth Anderson, and we love the care Eric receives at Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialist.
Is your backyard ready for the big leagues? Pick it here for Surfside Pools. Serving Northeast Florida since 1977, they have the home field advantage. Family owned and operated, offering weekly pool service, equipment repairs, commercial maintenance, remodels, and new pool construction. Let Surfside Pools make your backyard dreams a reality. Are you ready to float happy? Visit SurfsidePools.net or call 904-246-2666. Surfside Pools and Spas, your hometown MVP.
License number CPC 044080.
ET here, and if you've ever been injured in an accident, visit my buddy Dr. McGowan at McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation Center. You have 14 days to see a doctor and protect your insurance benefits, even if you're at fault. And no matter what you hear, you have the right to choose your own doctor. So I recommend McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation. Their auto experts will guide you in every step of the way to ensure the care that you need. Your recovery starts with McGowan Spinal Rehabilitation.
Maxed out on credit cards, struggling with high interest debt? You could pay it all off in days with Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan. Hey, it's Prosser here. Get cash out now without touching your low-rate first mortgage. No appraisals, no waiting, no BS. The Rapid Equity Loan Program at Loan Pronto is amazing. One Loan Pronto client just got $300,000 approved in under 24 hours. They paid off debt, renovated their kitchen, and cut their monthly expenses by $1,800. That's a huge turnaround. Instant approvals, low rates, no hard credit pull up front. That's Loan Pronto. Listen, your home equity is yours. Use it. Get cash to consolidate your debt down to one easy, low monthly payment. Call Loan Pronto now for a free instant appraisal for your home and see how much cash you can get today. Loan Pronto is an A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau and have nearly 2,500 5-star Google reviews. Call now and start the conversation. Go to loanpronto.com or call 999-1508. That's loanpronto.com.
1010XL is presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville.
It's a Best Bet Monday on The Frangie Show with fantastic locations in Jacksonville, Orange Park, and St. Augustine. It's Best Bet.
Event 3 of the Summer Swing Series takes place at Best Bet Jacksonville next week. Play in all 3 swing events and receive a Tournament Series pullover. You love the good things going on at the Best Bet. We sure appreciate our friends from the Best Bet. Frangie, Carline, La Selva with you. Have you seen now where the Big Ten has recommended yet another playoff series?
I have, and this is their worst idea yet.
24 to 28 teams. And by the way, that's not the worst part. If somebody said, let's do 24 teams, 5 automatic qualifiers and 19 at large, that's probably too many, but at least that answers all the questions, that everyone's complaining about the teams, who's got the best schedule, who's got the best record. What do we measure harder schedule? You know what I mean? But not only say 24 to 28, 7 automatic qualifiers from their league. 7.
Well, the absurd part is that the ACC and Big 12 would get 5.
Well, good point.
I mean, I mean, that could be a 6-6 team.
Yeah, I mean, what are we doing? I mean, again, I don't.
You could easily have a losing record team in there.
Yeah, I think we should go to 16, 5, and 11. It looks like they're not going to do that. Whatever. If they want to stay at 12, whatever. 5 and 7, whatever. I'm good with all that. And I don't hate 24 or 20. I don't hate the 24. I hate you can't have 7 automatic Nobody does that. By the way, you know how many automatic in the 68-team NCAA basketball tournament, the NCAA 68 teams. You know how many automatic qualifiers the SEC and the Big Ten get?
1.
1. In what world do you think 1 in basketball, 7 in football? You get 1. What are we doing? I mean, an automatic. You know who should get an automatic bid? Your conference champion. You decide how to pick them. You can have a tournament. You can have a championship game. You decide how to pick them. You can't give 7 of your teams an automatic bid. It's the stupidest thing ever. I mean, nobody. I mean, by the way, in the NFL. You know how many automatic qualifiers you get per division?
1.
1! In Major League Baseball, you know how many automatic qualifiers you get per division? 1! What do we do? You get 1. What are we doing? 7?
It's absurd, and it's unfortunate because it's pushing us further away from a real solution to this. Because this is comic book villainy. It's so stupid. And so, I mean, it has no chance of going through. It's ridiculous that Petiti would even publicly make it a thing. And it doesn't help the sport. Like that would be, I think college football is almost too big to fail in how popular it is. But that system is something where I think the damage to the regular season would be so profound that I do think it would hurt the sport.
Let me tell you, good point. It's hard to hurt college football, but you might be right. Let me tell you why I'm proud of the SEC coaches. Greg Sankey was on board with this 4-4, 2-2, 3-1, whatever the hell they came up with. Greg Sankey was on board with it. The 4-4, 2-2, 1-3. Okay, he was on board. And he went to Destin, and he pitched it to his coaches. Hey, the Big Ten and us were both kind of in concert on this. 4-4, 2-2, 1-3. 4 for us, 4 for the Big Ten, 2 for the Big 12, 2 for the ACC, 1 for the group of 5, 3 at large. We're all 4-4, 2-2, 1-3. We're all in concert. You guys, and you know what the SEC coaches said? They said no. They said we prefer the 5-11, meaning we prefer 1 automatic bid. The coaches said that. So Sankey went back to Petiti and said, listen, I talked to my coaches. They didn't like it. You know why, Hayes? Because they were probably embarrassed that someone thinks they would need 4 automatic bids because they're not good enough to earn them on their own. That's what I think. I think the reason Kirby Smart and Billy Napier and Brian Kelly and whoever else pushed back, I think they pushed back because they said, that's stupid. If we need 4 AQs to get in, then shame on us. Shame on us for not being good enough. Well, yeah, our schedule's harder. Well, you know what? Be better than your schedule. I think it's comical. I really do.
Yeah, and that's the thing is that's the frustrating part of this is if they can't work in conjunction, then we'll just be stuck with what we have, which is, I mean, maybe a good thing. Because if this is where they want to take it, then maybe it's better off as flawed as it is at 12. Maybe that's the where it should stay longer than just for a placeholder a couple of years before they expand it out further. I'm disappointed that they haven't been able, the Big Ten and the SEC haven't been able to be more in lockstep, because I was really encouraged when it looked like they were starting to work together. But yeah, I mean, it's a bad plan. I give them credit for this. You want to keep thinking of ideas.
Right.
So this one is I think abysmal, but at least they're trying to come up with stuff. And now it's time for Sankey. That's fine. He's gotten the feedback from his coaches. So now it's time for Sankey to put something forward of, okay, well, this is what we think it should be. Because right now there's a little bit of a void there with the SEC because because of the fact that Sankey was in favor of the 4-4, 2-2, 3-1, whatever, and then took the feedback from his coaches. Well, you got to be in favor of something, because clearly Sankey isn't in favor of the current system.
Right.
So it's now on Sankey to deliver another alternative that maybe they can start to build consensus.
Well,
on.
I can say this, and I'm not trying to be a SEC homer here, but at this point, there's 10 conferences. There's 10 conferences plus Notre Dame who all get a voting thing in this. I'm sorry, Big Ten. But so there's 11 voters, okay? 10 conference commissioners in the Big Ten AD. The Notre Dame AD. So there's 11 voters. I'm sorry, Notre Dame AD, but if the other 10 all agree on the 5-11 for now, you Big Ten, you got it wrong. If 10 think one thing and you think the other, you're wrong about this. The other 10 are all good with the 5-11. They are. So, and again, I'm fine with 24 teams. I'm fine with 24 teams, and it's 5-19. I'm fine with that. But that shows how insecure the Big Ten is. They're not secure enough that they could get enough teams in. That's what this is. They're not secure enough they could get enough teams in. That's the bottom line. It's as simple as that.
Can you imagine how pathetic fighting for that 7th spot? And the SEC too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, less than the SEC. And if you look at traditionally,
it would be pathetic,
the SEC will occasionally have a pretty good 7th team.
But I agree
The Big Ten is never going to have that. I mean, the 7th team in the Big Ten is a team no one wants to watch.
And by the way, when one of these conferences, and they've all done it, it was the SEC most recently, but it's been the Big Ten, it's been the ACC, it's been the Big East. When one of these conferences gets a high percentage of teams in the NCAA basketball tournament is when they deserve it. I can tell you when the Big East would get 10, or the SEC this year got 11, or the ACC used to get 8, or the Big Ten, when they got it? Because they earned it. It's not like this unfair selection committee. When they weren't SEC biased when the SEC had 11. Was it 11 this year in basketball?
It might have been like 13.
Whatever it was. Yeah. It wasn't SEC bias. It's they had that many good teams. And the Big Ten, by the way, is dominant. They had that many good teams. So this fear of the selection committee won't treat us right. I got news. For the most part, the 68 teams the NCAA picks, which is 31 automatic qualifiers and however many, they get it pretty damn close. They might miss a little bit. They get it. Even the 12 teams in football this year, they were pretty close. You could argue Alabama versus Indiana, schedule versus whatever. It wasn't far off, and the 12 to 16 would correct the not far off. This is insecurity, blatant insecurity by the Big Ten, and it's kind of comical. We'll take a break. We'll wrap the program after this.
The Frangie Show from the Harrell and Harrell studio. Don't settle for less than you deserve.
This is Brent Musburger's Visa in Action update on 1010XL. Brought to you by Duck Duck Rooter Plumbing, Septic, and Air Conditioning. When you're stuck, call the Duck. Proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The NBA released the 82-game schedule for all 30 teams on Thursday, and the Oklahoma City Thunder are the betting favorites to win the championship and repeat at plus 225. The Denver Nuggets, the second best odds of winning the title, they're plus 700. The Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks out of the Eastern Conference, both plus 800. The Houston Rockets out of the Western Conference, plus 850. The young Orlando Magic, plus 1,500 to win the NBA championship. The Los Angeles Lakers are plus 1,600. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets, plus 225 to win the regular season MVP award. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, plus 250 to repeat. Earn cash back on your gaming transactions with the GBank Signature Visa Card at vsin.com/GBank. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1010 XL.
Got a clogged drain that just won't quit? It's time to bring in the pros. Duck Duck Rooter.
I called Duck Duck Rooter for a clogged kitchen drain. They showed up fast and had it cleared in no time. No mess, no stress.
We've seen it all. Grease clogs, hairballs, mystery goo from the deep. Whatever's blocking your pipes, we'll get it flowing again. Call 904-862-6769 now to schedule your drain cleaning service. That's 904-862-6769 or online at duckduckrooter.com. When you're stuck, call the Duck.
I'm Chris Campione. Auto accidents can leave you feeling lost and overwhelmed. But at Campione Law, we're here to guide you with a personal touch through every step of the process. We don't get paid unless you get paid. CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione Law.
Ryan and Angela Wall here with Window World. Hurricanes happen in Florida. That's not news. But what happens even more often than hurricanes are home break-ins. And if security is important to you, you might want to look into hurricane-rated impact windows.
What you may not know is that hurricane-rated impact windows not only help protect your home in case of a hurricane, but they also offer another level of security for your home.
Have you seen those videos on YouTube that show people trying to break through an impact window? A thief is way too lazy to spend his energy trying to break through one of our impact windows. That's why he doesn't have a real job like you. He'd rather break your non-impact window while you're at work. Window World has high-quality, very affordable hurricane-rated impact windows to help protect your home from hurricanes and from lazy thieves.
Call us today at 904-443-7001. Get a free estimate and see for yourself. You save energy, get more security, and the windows add value to your home. With all Window World windows, you get the best guarantee in the window replacement business.
Window World, simply the best for less. And thank you for your business.
I-9 Sports covers the First Coast with all kinds of sports for kids ages 3 to 17. Fall and winter registration is open right now, like girls volleyball at Duval Charter Bay Meadows, plus plenty of co-ed programs in the Tri-County area to keep your kids active. And being part of a team creates great camaraderie and commitment. Year-round sports all across the First Coast. St. John's, Duval, and Clay, sign up now for the fall and winter. It's all at i9sports.com. Enter 1010 in the promo code for a discount. That's i9sports.com.
I can't believe how spotless my floors look after using the Swiffer Power Mop. No more dragging around a heavy mop and messy bucket. Now I get the same deep clean without all the work. Thanks to the powerful solution and scrubbing pad of the Swiffer Power Mop, dirt and grime don't stand a chance, and I don't break a sweat. Mic drop. Mop drop.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
A smarter way to mop. Try it or your money back.
E to the T here, and Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find the scratch kitchen that comes through in the clutch every day, from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar. Come on, somebody.
Hacker here. You know, those of you that have listened to me for years realize that I used to do a lot of different weight loss things, a lot of different things that I tried that just never worked for one reason or the other. And then Awaken 180 Weight Loss came along, and I heard Mike Dempsey and Matt Hayes talking about it, and I thought, you know what? What the heck? What do I have to lose? I'm going to give it a try. I had low expectations, to be honest, based on previous history, but I learned very quickly that Awaken 180 Weight Loss is the best weight loss program I was ever on. I dropped 19 pounds my first 2 weeks on Awaken 180 Weight Loss, went on to lose over 100 pounds total. I'm keeping the weight off with the Awaken 180 Weight Loss Maintenance Program. Awaken 180 Weight Loss, without a shadow of a doubt, is the best weight loss program I have ever been on, and the results speak for themselves. If it's time for you to lose some weight like it was for me, go to awaken180weightloss.com or call 844-346-1800. You can do it. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
1010XL is presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Protecting you and your family. Call 396-5555. Jacksonville. Now, the Cool Down with Donovan Air Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since 1987.
All right, today we talked about that game against the Saints. The Jags played very well. They tied the game, but the offense, the starters all look good. Colin Saunders is the newest Jaguar. We talked about that trade. Luke Fortner goes to the Saints. Colin Saunders comes here. We talked all about what looked good, what didn't, and where the Jags may be moving forward with one preseason game left. We talked about Scottie Scheffler's amazing run through this incredible golf season, including another win, and, of course, the Big Ten's proposal to expand the college football playoff. I will tell you, we talked about it during the break, the drama of this Loser Monday. Number one, either La Selva or I are the loser.
Of the year.
And that's big news, but that's not the big news. Hayes Carline could go wire to wire for the first time in Loser Monday history. The significance of that. I mean, word on the street is, I haven't gotten this confirmed or not, but the word on the street is that Roger Goodell might cancel all the other preseason games so everybody can lock in and watch it.
Yeah. We've had some good discussions about that, but I told him, go ahead and play your games because no one's watching anyway.
I mean, I've heard Sky Sport is setting a representative over BT Sport.
Yeah, Netflix is doing a documentary.
Al Jazeera, thank you, JJ. JJ's one step ahead of me.
Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera is coming over. I mean,
they're actually a little annoying. They're so good.
So I'm just telling you, I mean, can you imagine this? I heard that Katie Couric's coming. Mm-hmm. I heard
that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
Jane Pauley is right there with her.
Jane Pauley's coming for CBS this morning.
Yes.
Okay, Dan Rather might do this. I mean, this is a gigantic story. Are you nervous? Are you nervous at all?
We are incredibly nervous. We are incredibly rattled. So how do you...
Did the paintball help at all?
It helped, but, I felt like...
That was a great moment.
So we meet... every day, obviously, at 5 a.m. and to go over all the data that they've come up with these golfers.
Yeah.
And even though there's only 30 in the field and there's 2 that we can't take, it's a lot that you pour through. We're every shot. So I took them for an excursion. We went down to Ishituckney over the weekend just to kind of get away.
It's cold. That water's cold.
It's cold. I thought it would be refreshing, a brainstorming session as we're rafting down the Ishituckney. So we've got, obviously, we're going to have to let the draft come to us as we have all year because we've been in the third slot all year long, obviously. So we're used to that.
Loser Monday.
So, we have to anticipate what a brilliant mind like you and a brilliant mind like JJ might do before it's our turn. But we feel pretty good with the options.
They're even nervous over at Bono's. I mean, they're nervous everywhere.
You only get walking in. So many chances in your life at history, and we've wrapped our arms around this magical opportunity, and we just need four more good days of golf.
Let's say hello to Rick Ballou.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
Ballou, what'd you think? You saw not a win, a tie.
Yeah.
A tie. What'd you think?
A lot of good things.
Yeah,
compared to a week ago. I think really the most telling part is that Liam Cohen called him out last week, and he did some things in practice, and that 40-play lineup and snap the ball and have the official blow the whistle almost felt like it was football 101, and they reacted with a clean game. No penalties by either your starting offense and your starting defense. And, the other side of that is New Orleans may be the worst team in the NFL, but, boy, Jacksonville, their starters just look dominant in the game.
Yeah, and I thought we needed that. I think all of us, the Jag Nation collectively, Rick, there's been so many stories, such an off season of so many. It felt good to feel, regardless of what it turns out to be. I like where they are. I do, and I tend to be that guy, so I like where they are.
Showed a lot of improvement, and that's what you want because, again, even on Thursday, it wasn't a good scrimmage.
Right.
A ton of penalties on Thursday, and just not a good, that's defensive starting drive that you allowed Mason Rudolph to drive the entire field. So. It was. They should be happy. It was marked improvement, and, we'll see what happens when we get back out there tomorrow and watch them practice.
Tonight, what's coming up?
We got all that. Everything coming up tonight with that. My first conversation with Ryan O'Halloran, who's going to join me at 6:18, and just relive everything. And I got to believe Jaguar fans feel much better this Monday than they did a week ago Monday.
All right, Rick Beluga's into the night. It all comes up right now. We'll see you tomorrow. Same bad time, same bad channel. We're not doing Loser Money till Wednesday because everybody wants to know. I'm going to keep them. This is just a tease. Tomorrow will just be a tease. Folks, that's our program. For Hayes and JJ, I'm Frank Frangie. So long.